my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Tape my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Eat faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions. They blocking your vision, but no, you can't listen. That shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're driven.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
Yeah. You ain't gonna make it, You ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not, think a stray kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore. I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south.
Never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it.
I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't fucking okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah, rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family. From a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I knew enough to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't fucking okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah, rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family. From a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I knew enough to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, stop, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame, I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. My day really not tame, I'ma never slow down, I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage, it's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. Slave for you. Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a goddamn mess. Hopeless, more tests. More blessed. Dug deep down trying to find my best.
Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand. Call
Yeah. woke up, told myself to push and never stop. I've been stressed out, watching both these hands around the clock. With my eyes wide, trying to get the panorama shot. Whole world getting blurry to me, answers getting lost. So I watch my back and keep it moving to the front. And remember that the world's yours, do it how you want. You've been waiting here for too long, think it's time for you to move on. Realize that there's real lies in these real times, so be strong.
I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. You know I've been waiting, 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 waiting. But will you wait for me?
My whole life I'm forever grinding, waiting for my time to shine just like a diamond. When life is rough and I ain't with that funny stuff, I use it all as motivation, but it's hard to have the patience. Watching time fly by might be the hardest thing I have to do in life. Frustrated that I ain't where I want to be yet, but I know that I'ma make it if I chase that check. Yes.
Cause I done seen the time go by for too many years now when the stars were aligned. Cause I done seen the time go by. Yeah, I done seen the time go
I've been
by.
waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. I've been waiting all my life, and it was right before my eyes. Watching all this time slip by, now I realize. You know I've been waiting, 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 you know I've been waiting. But will you wait for me?
Yeah, I spit raps like a heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet out, get ready for defeat now. I'm gonna make you bleed out, listen on repeat now and weed out all the weak now. Get up and make a change, don't remember yesterday. If you got something to say, speak your mind before your grave, cause your life is yours to save. Ain't nobody gonna change, everybody stays the same. So be different, make a name,
like
huh?
a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. March until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. March until it's over.
it's ridiculous, I'm spitting this meticulous and limitless, while others out there spitting shit got hits up on the charts and shit. I see why other artists quit, cause people don't reward good shit. They love to hate but hate to live. Society, you swing and miss, and honestly I get it. Promise me you won't regret it. Wasting energy, forget it. Don't look back, go on and get it. Bite the bullet just a bit, bite your tongue and don't say shit. Make your actions hard to miss, be a legend not a myth. Yeah. It's obnoxious that I'm conscious, rapping honest as promise. Try to harness, as an artist stay modest. It's a long quest, I will not quit till 10,000 people going off when I drop this. I gotta make it now, swear to God I'm breaking out. Swear to God I'll take a bow, stand the stage with the crowd, cause I got it figured out. I'm just honest and I'm loud, staying modest but I'm proud. No, I never had a doubt,
Just like
yeah.
a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over.
If we are one grain of sand in the middle of the ocean, can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosions? Rise up, I'm too great to be landed. Rise up, we're too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us, fly at 'em like choppers, better took those risks, cold blood in my fists, we fire starters, one out of a million will reach those heights, always had a feeling that I won't deny, now what, never could toss, look in my eyes, I'm on the rise. Rise, cutting my size, trying to make sense of it all comprised. Yeah, highs, spinning these skies. Never stuck there, feeling paralyzed, but I'm up now. We all too late to fall. Yeah, anyone coming, I'ma lift them all. Never look down when it's risk involved. They got guts, gotta learn, I gotta wish it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating. Yeah, I'm that grain of sand that made it out the ocean. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pair that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the night won't scare us falling. So rise up, I'm too great to be landed. Rise up, we're too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us, fly at 'em like choppers, better took those risks, cold blood in my fists, we fire starters, let's go, one out of a million will reach those heights, always had a feeling that I won't deny, now what, never could toss, look in my eyes, I'm on the rise.
Yeah. Unknown Brain. Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games. Yeah, I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye. So now I gotta say goodbye.
All right, let's switch over. Okay. throw an ad for a demo. French, oh. looking for some juicy content then. Looking for some juicy content. Dang. I could go for it, man. Hang on a second. Oh, she'll be terrified. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we're striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telophoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name's Licinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question ever since that night, and the roar, that terrible roar, and then the screams? I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran past friends, people I'd known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers, or so it was. But now me and a few others are borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help. Can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. Licinia says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with means of heating the place, as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under that gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes, do as you will. sorry. I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Alright, let's go! We got it. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Emmanuelane's tinctures. The ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? I swear the names in this game are impossible to pronounce. It's not just me. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification. The magitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, cerulean ingens is full of this stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. Alright, that was a whole lot of exposition for no reason. Thanks, guy. I think I'm gonna skip the next dialogues. He's very happy. He's very happy. He says a poem, and we're moving on. Don't have all day, guys. Don't have all day. A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. And that's the last of them. What's that? This? It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Aminus it is. Not at all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon, an ode to the brave men and women set to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Aminus. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself that he may one day make his triumphant return. I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. Well, I have some news for the poor lad. I believe we defeated Emperor Varus. So this is what you gave the others? Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you a part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Legatus Virgila's troops heading towards the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. So did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Licinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps the baby Almasti has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you have a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head over to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all of those creatures. Would you mind willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then it's ceruleum you shall have. Thank you so much. To reach Tapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be tricky too, so it's easier to look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Well, at least she cares a little bit, despite being an evil person. I think she's a bad guy. I don't trust her. She's keeping secrets from us. That can never be a good thing. Nice. Got some experience. Let's get some ads here. Oh yeah, that's a nice ad. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Well, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Monteshade. Other faculty tend to frequent their office.
Fighters, protect the others!
What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the pure bloods over at Victor's Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up arseholes. Thought they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to send you to negotiate. Well, I know your game, Sellsword. If they think we'll give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Whoa! Unexpected. Did not see this one coming. Am I dead yet?
Oof, my guy, I'm sorry. Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go out and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. So this is Topper's den. Well then, after you.
Who are you? What happened to the guards? Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put some imperial bastards to the sword?
Let me guess, none of you are Garlean. You were brought here from other lands.
Garabania, Yangxia, Balja, Dalmasca, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bullocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of An, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. Well, the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerulia Ingens, still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture.
We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake. But how can you do that if it's frozen over?
Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used much these days, what with the city in ruins. We take enough power our heaters and save surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare.
We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here?
Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire. And the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we knew it is gone for good.
Gone for good. Regardless of what the Ezobot contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is co-signed to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum.
So you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods that Victor's spoils sent you? To turn their enemies for help. To turn to their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I'd thought. Then again, Licinia's got her little sister to think about.
A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men.
It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear?
I I can't for the life of me think why Lucinia would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered this ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphina would be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Alright, looking for Alphina. There he is. They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me, caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me.
You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. Here to help. What a rot. All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge.
You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles in a bed that was still warm. It's true. Lucinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now, there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go?
Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people.
We're trying to help them, you idiot! Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry. Or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone?
To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, tainted with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Garleon should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived.
This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Licinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and theirs. I will join you in the search after. All right. Be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. Two sets of fresh footprints. Young women, judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts, and I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to lose it, to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues.
Look at these Yetis! Those are some awesome looking Yetis. So we are literally searching this whole area for hints of Licinia. Alright. Let's keep looking. Don't see anything yet. Here it is. Here's a clue. Some fresh blood. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeastwards. Let's do a sprint. Get some speed up. Oh no, they're knocked out. The two bodies are already cold. Oh no. No way. Oh gosh. That's awful. Well, I guess they weren't evil. They were destroyed by monsters. That's awful.
blood trail. We found one. They were attacked.
Yeah.
No. Why wouldn't they? Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic.
Okay. Cast resurrection on them.
We should have. I should have.
You're a red mage, you can do it.
We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
Oh, they're not gonna believe you when you say that you didn't do it.
Making it worse.
They're not gonna trust you.
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
They're not gonna trust you. This is the ultimate violation of their trust.
I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand, so I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
That really sucks. All that because they didn't trust. Gotta trust, man. Gotta trust. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments, and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the Victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the 3rd Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the 1st Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory. And that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the 3rd Legion's coffers, but the 1st as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the 1st Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in... May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varys spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
This is pretty advanced tech. Considering the engine this was built on and the way they had to probably code this, it's quite impressive. I know it's just walking, but walking NPCs are pretty tough to manage. This is it. The first stop, that is. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No. We're just stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. North of the station is Reggio d'Amorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off. Understood? For
From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready.
They would attack their own countrymen.
Aye. They spare their own but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we're seen, you are to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. See why your comrades chose you. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Look what they have become. Would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Yes,
Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation.
Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you think twice before speaking of a cure.
Some of them can't be cured. Most of them can. Thankfully.
We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way.
This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait with me at the bottom of the stairs. Oh, that's the Aetheryte. It was right here all along. What a cool place. Spooky. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed. And if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. The Aetheryte is not responding.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, Overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. But after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference. To make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for? You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Well done. I don't think they've done that before. As per Lord Quintus' instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation, and above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alice will pay the price. I know who you are. The so-called champion of Eosia. Come to gloat, have you? I will wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of the fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... damn. Tore the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot is within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for those third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. You came with Jealous, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. It's you, Ezekiel Atelier. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night of the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers. You killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in the dozens, as though they were nothing to you. Oh dear. Maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return, until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize that they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade them, though we need to persuade Julius first. Jealous, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've got a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some cerulean set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to their last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have them sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man and issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Talafaroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Talafaroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how did you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before the reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you cerulean. I will speak with Lord Quintus. Alright, I will be right back. So, did he agree to it? No. He will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for the cerulean outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You are a lot more trouble than you're worth. Once we're outside, we will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Still only level 82, so I think I'm gonna speed this up a bit. Well, level 83 now, so. What a place.
finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we? Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of our scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not...
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they... ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eula spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alizé are to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Get them out of here. This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
No use. Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
So cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections, a cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance.
Ha! I can
I've
relate.
since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties. Not for their party, nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
Stop! Both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
No!
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something.
Rash? You spoke exactly what you needed to there, I would say. Oh no. Alright, I'm going to wrap things up right here. Thank you so much for watching. This is plentyofgaming.com and twitch.tv/plentyofgaming. I will see